Welcome, fellow Wasteland survivors. I'm Dean, and in today's video, Fallout 76 Camp Tips and Tricks for the Beginner, how blueprints work, we will blueprint the build that we made in the last video. We will also talk about problems that might occur if the build was not blueprinted correctly. Now, please keep in mind, these clips are from our Fallout 76 beta live stream on Xbox One, and some of these things may change on game day release or shortly after. Because of this being the beta, the camp system was very glitchy, and I'm sure, just like me, you are having a lot of issues with building, blueprinting, and moving your camp from one area to another. There are a lot of things that we're going to talk about, so let's get started. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I think is all we're going to build here. So what we're going to do from this point here is we're actually going to blueprint this. So I'd like to show everybody how you blueprint, and by blueprinting this, we'll see the next time we build our camp if we can actually put this whole build up the way it's supposed to come up from the blueprint. When you hit the B button to go into the store scrap menu, it will give you the option to blueprint. Now, I don't know if this is going to matter or not, but we're going to blueprint from the ground up. So you might want to think about that. When you start blueprinting, blueprint your ground items first, your next level of items, and then your next story level items. So we're going to start by holding and pressing the A button until the object turns blue. Once it turns blue, or is highlighted white now, you can start going around and blueprinting by just tapping on A all the rest of your objects. Okay, now at this point we've got our 4 floors for our base, our foundation. Now we'll go ahead and go around and tap all of the defense walls. And if you ladies and gentlemen will notice underneath the budget, there's a blueprint budget. And you'll only be able to blueprint those items until that budget is filled. Once that budget's filled, you can no longer blueprint anything else. So we'll go around and just keep clicking on these. Okay, now we'll go inside. What we want to blueprint is this structure. We want to blueprint our crafting stations, our stash box, and now we can go upstairs and do our bed, these walls, the ceilings, and our gun turrets. And the final one's right there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to step back and we're going to take a look to make sure that we've gotten everything in the blueprint. And it looks like looks like we might have missed the door. Let's get the door. Do we have the wall? Let's try our wall again. Okay, it turned to a different color, so it definitely was blueprinted. Alright, now at this point, all you have to do is hit X to create the blueprint. And it will show you all of your blueprints that you have there. Now, as you can see, I've got multiple blueprints, but they're in the stored category, not in the blueprinted category. So let's call this one Battle Camp, like our other. And
Well then, I just grabbed like 200 caps out of nowheres.
let's go with um, let's go with alpha. Arc likes the alpha, and since we don't have uh, one already named that, and we will have created our blueprint. Now let's go ahead and do this, and battle camp. I'm going to go ahead and delete that blueprint. And there's our other two blueprints. Now I wish that there was a way that we could delete this blueprint. You know what? It says X to store. Let's press X. Delete blueprints and store components. All component objects. So maybe we've found a way to actually store these objects now. So yes, let's do that. Store. I'm glad that I'm seeing that now. Store, yes. Store, yes. Okay, well, we did end up building extra objects now because of that. But I'm cool with that, and we now actually have our light. Okay, that is excellent to know. I didn't know that, and apparently the reason is because I was always trying to place them in and snap them on, and they wouldn't snap. So there is a way to actually delete the blueprint of the object, and then you'll have those objects back to build with. So excellent, excellent to know. I'm going to go over here and find a spot to drop the camp down, and this could do it right here, yeah. Let's see if this will work. This will work. Nice. Damn it, I was going to look to see if we could put that out too. Well, we can see it right now. Blueprints. Nope.
Where are you? Where are you?
Okay, let's
There
see.
you go.
Did it break it all down? Okay, we got it this time. This time it finally came out. When it stored our build, it stored it as one complete build. And as you guys can see in the upper right-hand corner, it's not going to cost us any resources to do it. If we're on the blueprint, then you see the resources there. So this time it actually worked for us. Now let's find a spot to put this little guy down. Let's see, which one has our better defenses on it? That way does. Let's point our defenses to the... okay, why will it let us... okay, there we go. That'll...
God, I fell in a ravine.
It's intersecting with pre-existing objects. Needs support. Come on.
Growing fungus.
See, why
and
would
brain
it...
fungus in here.
why would it... you know, what I don't get... oh, crap, that's not what I wanted to do. What I don't get is how it says needs pre-existing support, but... okay, there it went. We got it. I guess I had to get it up out of the dirt a little ways, a little bit. Alright, well, we got it, ladies and gentlemen. We got it down. We need a damn stair here. I'm almost afraid to put a stair on there. Let's see, stairs. Let's do that. And I probably had a stair. Oh, you know what? We need to get our... let's get our water down real quick. Now, why some things are going into the stored, but not the... but not others, I don't know for sure. But we'll go to our blueprints, and there's our water. So let's put our water down. Well, let us put it down right there. It will. Okay, perfect. now. Do we have any water in there? See, that's the way it's supposed to work. Is once you've blueprinted something and then you fold up your camp, the camp should go into your store as one complete object. And you don't have to build it off of your blueprints. So that's the way it was supposed to work, is what it just did right there. Okay, now let's talk about this some. And keep this in mind, since this is the beta, we're really not for sure how this is actually going to work yet. It has been glitchy and things haven't been working properly. But I think I've got a pretty good idea on how it's supposed to work. And of course, when the game drops, we will experiment with this quite a bit. Okay, to start off with, you do not need to blueprint your build to have it in its complete form the next time you place your camp down. The next time that you place your camp down, it will create a blueprint automatically for you, but only of the structure and all of the objects that were placed in or on it. And it will show up as a blueprint in the stored tab only. It will not show up in the blueprint tab, but you will be able to see it in the Create a Blueprint sub-tab, where you go to save a blueprint. Here are some examples of what I mean. This is a partially built structure that was not blueprinted. It has a cooking station, a stash box, and a few gun turrets in and on it. All other objects are just sitting on the ground and are not on any kind of support, meaning a foundation. All builds have to start off with a foundation for supporting the rest of the build, like other walls, floors, roofs, and ceilings. Now we're going to place the camp back down in the same build area. Once we do, all objects are automatically stored and any supported objects are automatically blueprinted. Now, when we go back into build mode, we can see that nothing that was in our build is showing up in the blueprint tab. The only blueprints that are available to us from this tab are ones that we created and named. But if we go to the stored tab, here we can see several blueprints that the camp system generated for us when we moved or replaced our camp. And here is the one that is our partially built structure with the cooking station, stash box, and gun turrets on it. Now at this point we can go ahead and place it back down. Once we do, the camp generated blueprint disappears and will not be found anywhere in the build menu until we place the camp back down again, and then it would regenerate a new blueprint from that. Okay, now because the camp system will create a blueprint from any supported object, we now have several more mini blueprints that have hanging objects on them. A couple of roofs with bone chimes, a couple of floors that have ceiling lights on them. The reason this happened is because when we blueprinted our original build, we missed two of the floors on the second story. And since we cannot build anything that does not have a support, the camp broke them down into smaller blueprints so that we could rebuild the structure correctly. Now, if you have not blueprinted your build correctly, like I did, by missing some of the objects, you will not be able to place or build from that blueprint again. It is now corrupted, and it will say one of two things, or in this case, both. The first thing it may say is, cannot place item, selected item is floating. The second is, cannot place item, needs support. At this point, all you can do is recreate your build from the mini blueprints and then re-blueprint your build correctly, making sure you have all objects that need support included. Okay, now if this has happened to you and you're trying to rebuild your structure from the camp generated blueprints, some of them may not snap back up. For instance, these 4 mini blueprints, for whatever reason, because of hanging objects on them, they will not snap back into the build. It says, cannot place item, intersects with an existing object, or objects is floating. Now, don't freak out like I did at first. There is an option to store all of these objects in the blueprint. Now, this can only be done with the C.A.M.P generated blueprints, which are located in the Stored tab. If you choose the Stored option, which is located here on this bottom menu bar, it will ask you if you want to delete the blueprint and store all the component objects. When you say yes, the blueprint is deleted and the individual objects are placed back into your stored category, and you're able to use them again whenever you want to. Now, keep this in mind. You can delete the blueprint and store all the objects in your main build as well. But if you do, you will no longer have your build as it was when you placed the C.A.M.P down. And the only way to get it back is to reuse your saved blueprint, which may cost you more resources and double the amount of items you use to create your build, or to rebuild it. At this point, I'm not for sure how this works, and I still need to do some more testing on this part of the C.A.M.P system. But I do know this: if you have blueprinted some objects that are not placed on supports, like let's say this water purifier and 2 generators, they will not show up as blueprints in the Stored tab, only as the individual objects. And because of that, you can use the blueprint of it in the Blueprint tab and place these items down where you would like, and no extra cost and resources. But remember, only supported objects get blueprinted by the C.A.M.P, and this may work the same way if you accidentally deleted and stored the objects of your build from the C.A.M.P generated blueprint. At the next opportunity, I will test this further and see how it works, and if it works the same way. Well, I think that just about covers everything I've discovered so far about the blueprint part of the C.A.M.P system. I'm sure as time goes by, we will find out a lot more about the building, blueprinting, and moving our camps in Fallout 76. Thanks for stopping in for our video today. Fallout 76 C.A.M.P tips and tricks for the beginner, how blueprints work, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video and or stream. And just like always, until next time, please stay safe and peace.